It is time for our Cleveland Browns pregame show on cleveland.com. I am Labbe. He's Branson Wright. We'll also be joined by Tom Reed and Mary Kay Cabot before the game. And as you can see, the Browns and Falcons and Branson. I think the big question here. Obviously, you got the Falcons this week, and you got the Bills next week, wherever that game's going to be, and then you got to go home and play the Colts. So, are these next two games for the Browns, as far as their playoff hopes go, must-win?
Oh, absolutely. But it's been a must-win for the past few weeks. It's the NFL. You have to. All these games are precious, especially now. So we definitely have to win this game today, and as you said, wherever the Buffalo game is.
Yeah.
And just to keep that momentum. And it's not to say that the Browns can't beat the Colts at home. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. But you have to start winning right now.
And you don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to beat the Colts at home, obviously, because that is a very good football team that does a lot of things well. The Browns struggle. Let's look at this game. Josh Gordon is back. That's the big storyline today. Is that your matchup today?
Yes, it is.
There you
go.
go.
Matchup against Cabot, the defensive cornerback for the Falcons, who's a smaller guy. He's about 6 foot tall, so he gives up about 3 inches, but he's aggressive. He's not going to be afraid of Gordon at all. He's going to play up on him. The guy likes to use his hands a lot, so I don't know if the officials are going to call him, but he likes to use his hands and he likes to disrupt the route. So it'll be an interesting matchup, especially in Gordon's first game back.
What do you expect out of Gordon today?
I expect him to get a lot of balls thrown at him. One thing, I did talk to a former NFL player, and he said that the Browns have to be careful about putting too much on him, especially on a track like this. It's a fast track. Gordon's a fast guy. He's going to go, man, this is going to be a great track meet. Let me just try to run around a bit. So I don't think it's a thing about pacing himself, but they have to take opportunity. I think the best wide receiver right now is coming back, and they have to throw at him and see what happens.
Brian Hoyer obviously struggled last week. They asked him to throw the ball 50 times, which is certainly something we know you probably don't want Brian Hoyer to do. Do you expect a very different approach from this offense today?
Because the Falcons don't do well against the run, I expect Hoyer not to throw as much as he did last time. And if he has to throw 50 passes, then that's a bad thing. That means the Browns are behind. They're trying to play catch up. So the best thing for them is if they can have a 50-50 mix, a lot of play action, get Gordon open, and hopefully that running game will get him open quite a bit.
What was your pick for today?
I picked the Browns. I never can remember the score, but I picked the Browns. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And I think it's going to be exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Branson right here on our Browns pregame show. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will bring on Tom Reed. And as promised, back with Tom Reed now on our Browns pregame show. And Tom, I was talking to Branson about Josh Gordon. There's obviously a lot of expectations about this guy. Fantastic 14 games last year, but he's missed 10 games. It's a very different offense now. The focus is on the run. So what's a reasonable expectation for Gordon?
That's a great question. Maybe 5 or 6 catches today, maybe a touchdown. If you're hoping if you're a Browns fan or the coach. But again, as you mentioned, last year he came back after 2 games. This is a much longer stretch. We'll see. But I would not be surprised to see him play a lot.
Some clarity in the running game, at least we think, with Ben Tate now gone. Isaiah Crowell, Terrence West are going to get the ball to the carries. Probably not even going to see Glenn Winston, so it's a 2-man backfield now. Do you think that these guys will be able finally settled in. Is this Crowell's show, or is Terrence West still getting a lot of carries?
Yeah, I think it just goes from week to week with these guys, right? Last week we saw Crowell. The week before, Terrence had 94 yards.
Yeah.
So they've really not shown one way or the other. If I was a betting man, I would say it's going to be Crowell today, but he's got to protect the ball again. I do think he's the better running back as far as having that burst and that explosion. But if you can't be trusted to hold the ball, it's a game changer. But he's got to be really excited coming home. He's from nearby Columbus, Georgia. I'm sure he could not be happier given where he's come from in the last year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you look at this offense last week, Brian Hoyer threw the ball 50 times, struggled a lot against that Houston defense. So this isn't Houston's defense they're going against today. It's a very different defense. They might be able to do some things against. But, that being said, the emphasis is likely to go back on running the football.
I think so. I think they'd like to, but it'll be interesting again when you have a weapon like Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kyle Shanahan probably wants to see what he's got there too beyond Hoyer. It'll be interesting to see if they do force him the ball a couple times. Hoyer's been very good about spreading the field. One of the things that Hoyer's done well this year is he hasn't just focused on one or two guys. He's really spread the ball around. We've seen the tight ends get involved. Not the running backs as much, but certainly different receivers. I'm interested to see now that he's back if it's going to be, Josh getting 2/3 of the targets.
When you look at Brian Hoyer, obviously coming off that bad game against the Texans, does he have anything to prove today, or what's his situation?
No, I just think he needs to go out and he played poorly.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone on the team, there was probably about 3 or 4 guys that played well. He played poorly, but as we know, again, I've been saying all along, as long as his team's in contention, it's his job to lose. If they fall out of contention, then we'll see. A couple more losses, then the conversation changes. But no, I just think he continues to continue to play well. Hopefully he doesn't deal with as much pressure today. I thought he was affected by the pressure last week. He took some tremendous shots from Brian Cushing. They just have to hope the line blocks a little bit better, gives him a little bit more time.
What does this defense do without Carlos Davis?
Well, it's tough. They've kind of been it's a weird defense this year that they've been creating a lot of turnover. They need to get some pressure on the quarterback. That was non-existent last week, and they have to be better. We'll see if Marquise Migo, who probably will play a little bit more today, can finally do something. I think he's been a disappointment. I think the last couple of years, he's going to get a chance probably to play a lot today. And I think, at some point, if he doesn't start turning around, this may be one of his last best chances to do something.
What was your pick today?
I picked the Browns, I think 30-27, but with no conviction.
All right, Tom Reed joining us here on our Browns pregame show. We'll take a break, and then we'll bring on Mary Kay Cabot. Thanks a lot, Tom. And as promised, back on our Browns pregame show. Now Mary Kay Cabot joins us. And Mary Kay, we have our inactives. What do you got for us?
Well, first of all, Carlos Dansby, he was doubtful. He's out for this game. And then Jamal Sheard, he actually is active.
Yeah.
So going from the beginning of the week, when we thought that Sheard might be out for the rest of the season, to having him almost, ready to play this game, maybe even start this game, it's basically a stunning turnaround. And it's good for the Browns because Jamal is coming off a very good game. And losing Carlos is bad enough. To have both of them out in the same game, we already have the 30th ranked run defense, so it's good news for the Browns and Jamal to play.
Yeah, Jamal Sheard kind of quietly having a very good season. A lot of people are talking about, of course, K1 really, that's secondary, and Carlos Dansby and whatnot. Jamal Sheard very quietly having a nice season.
Yeah, he's getting good pressure. He's disrupting the quarterback. He's coming off that edge. Not always wrapping up on the sack, but he definitely is making his mark and forcing some pressure.
What does the loss of Dansby, though, mean to this defense? He's obviously the leader, makes a lot of calls. How are they going to replace that?
Well, Craig Robertson will be the new quarterback of the defense, and he will make those defensive calls. But you know what? Carlos was ranked the 3rd best inside linebacker in a 3-4 defense according to Pro Football Focus. That's saying a lot. He's good at coverage. this is a team that you need that against, okay? Obviously, they've got a lot of weapons. They've got a high-powered offense, so it is a huge loss not to have Carlos and his experience and also his leadership, his fighteriness in there, but they'll just have to overcome it.
Do the Browns get back to running the football?
Well, they're definitely going to try. They're going to try to do that. And they've got the two young guys, obviously. As Kyle Shanahan said, it's their show now. And, you know, I think when you then Tate out the picture, they're both going to try to step up and prove that they should be the guy. And so I do think that they will be okay with what they have to be careful about is, again, protecting the football. Now, the Falcons are second in the NFL behind only the Texans with 900 attempts. So, you know, they've got to hang on. We know what happened last week with Isaiah. They're going to be looking to break it out again.
How good are the Falcons? I know they're only 4-6, but they are first place in their division, and they're coming home for the first time in a long time. It's been over 40 days since they've played here. What are you expecting out of the Falcons team?
You know what? I think it's going to be a tough game. I really do think it's going to be a tough game because, again, they can be explosive on offense. And if Matt Ryan gets going, he's got 7 touchdowns and only 1 interception at home this season. Yeah. If he gets going, if he gets hot, body like Julio Jones. We all know how good Julio Jones is because he's someone the Browns could have had. So we've been keeping an eye on him over these past how many every year. So it's going to be a big challenge for Joe Hayden, Buster Street, to see what they can do. Of course, when you look at the Cleveland Browns, you always have to look first at them trying to stop the run. Steven Jackson. Now, when you put all their running backs together, they have 4 of them. When you put them all together, they're averaging, I believe it is 5.1 yards per carry just from the backs. So that's a lot, and the Browns coming off 156 yards by Alfred Wood, a rookie. That's where they're going to have to shine today.
Yeah, we've seen it. Doesn't matter the name of the running back when it comes to the Browns. They all seem to have plenty of success. You look at the upcoming schedule. They obviously have this game. They've got Buffalo next week, wherever they're going to play that game. And then they got to come home and play the Colts. For these next 2 games, are the Browns facing must-wins here if they want to stay in the playoff?
Well, they kind of are. They kind of are because you really cannot fall behind. So if you fall behind even 6-5 today, you're starting to put yourself in dire straits because somebody's going to start taking off in seams. So of course, we're all bunched up right now, but you know, things could change at the drop of a hat. So you definitely don't want to fall back to 6-5. And again, they've got Buffalo next week. These are 2 games that they should be able to win. Like you said, the Colts and the Bengals coming to town after that, and then going on the road for the final games in Carolina and Baltimore, have to take these 2 points.
Well, the Browns, right now, the tiebreakers aren't playing in their favor either, so they need to do a lot on their own. What was your pick for today?
You know, I picked the Browns to win 27-20 because I think they are going to get a huge emotional lift and a huge big play lift from Josh Gordon. I think he's going to be out of his mind, ready to just tear it up out there. And, you know, I think that they'll play him, they'll take him as far as they can take him. If he's out there, it's fine. If his conditioning is good, you know, they'll play him as much as they can.
All right, that'll do it for our Browns pregame show live from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. The Browns and Falcons set for kickoff at 1 o'clock. We'll have our live in-game chat, our post-game show, Mary Kay and Tom. We'll have all kinds of coverage after the game at cleveland.com/Browns. Thanks to Branson Wright, Tom Reed, Mary Kay Cabot, I'm Dan Labbe.